Interestingly enough, speaking of NFL history, Dak Prescott maybe going to be named the highest paid player in NFL history, and a former Cowboys quarterback seems to think that is going to be it. Troy Aikman was on the Pat McAfee show on Tuesday, and he talked a lot about Dak, his contract, if he's going to be the highest paid player, and if he is the highest paid player, is it going to be with the Dallas Cowboys?
What I respect so much about Dak, one is he's a great leader. He's a great person. But he's an old school guy in that he doesn't care about anything but winning. And it frustrates him beyond imagination that they haven't had more success in the postseason. And it's the only thing that's keeping him from really being mentioned with Pat Mahomes and some of the other greats.
It feels like it's a lame duck year down there, though, doesn't it? Hey.
Well, it does.
Doesn't it?
If he breaks through this year, I mean, I do believe he's going to be the first quarterback to $60 million. And
from Jerry or somewhere else?
Well, that's the question. And the longer this goes, the more I think he will be playing somewhere else. I just if it continues to drag on and he plays great, and then the Cowboys come in late to say, hey, now we want to pay you. I don't know. I don't know where his head will be at that point.
Again, that was Troy Aikman on the Pat McAfee show on Tuesday. What does AJ Hawk do there, really? Like, AJ Hawk just sits there and doesn't actually say any words. But he's
like Ed McMahon from the old Johnny Carson show.
Yes, sir.
I love McAfee and his crew, but AJ Hawk's
you are correct,
just
Matt.
Not saying anything. But anyway, that's besides the point. There's a couple of
who was Conan O'Brien's little guy, Andy.
I don't know his last name.
His own show now, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Andy.
Or he did.
Yes, sir.
Is it called the Andy Show? Because no one knows his last name.
Sure.
There's a couple interesting things in that bite. First, I thought the most interesting part was the question by McAfee: is it a lame duck year for the Cowboys? That's what kind of the narrative is surrounding it, because they didn't make a lot of great offseason improvements. They haven't really signed their stars or anything like that. Are they going to improve on a 12-5 record? I don't really think so. So is it a lame duck year when you have everybody in a one-year contract like the way they do?
Yeah. I mean, of course it is. Now, will they sign Dak and CD in the first month of the season? Then it changes everything. But McCarthy certainly is a lame duck. And at this point, Dak is. And from Jerry's comments on the opening day, see, Jerry goes all over the place. He tells us opening day, we're all in for this year. Let's just focus on this year. Now, a lot of us have a lot at stake 2-3 years down the road, but I want us to just focus on 1 year. So you're like, okay, he's not going to sign Dak all year. He's going to make him play it out, see how he does in the playoffs, and then decide if he wants to offer him a big deal. But then he comes back 2 days later and goes, we're working on it. We're talking. It's positive.
But then you heard from Troy right there, like, if they do that, what's to say that they're going to be able to sign him in this offseason?
Correct.
Like, if you allow him to be a free agent, he's exactly that. He can go anywhere he wants, and he's going to get a significantly better offer from somewhere else than the Cowboys.
Not necessarily.
I think so.
Well, first of all, if you're Jerry and he doesn't win you a playoff game, you don't want him anyway. Secondly, if he does win you a playoff game and you're prepared to match any offer, 60, whatever, if you're Dak, you're tempted to go somewhere else because this team didn't have faith in you or hung you out to dry or sent you through a lame duck season. But at the end of the day, if you're a quarterback with the star on the helmet, ask Troy Aikman, ask Tony Romo, you're much more valuable after football, ask Tom Brady, in getting one of those $100 million deals to be an analyst.
See, I don't buy that. I see that it's happened in the past. Roger Staubach is obviously a billionaire now. Troy is one of the best play-by-play people that you'll have, or analysts, that you'll have. But he's played for them for 9 years. After this year, it'll be 9 years with the star on your helmet. I don't think it matters where you go after that. Like, you'll still have, you were the Cowboys quarterback for 9 seasons before that.
Yeah, maybe.
And you see, like, Patrick Mahomes is a superstar, maybe because he's the best player in the world, but Patrick Mahomes is a superstar where he is. Lamar Jackson is a superstar in Baltimore. Like, you see Joe Burrow is a superstar in Cincinnati. I don't think you need the star on your helmet right now anymore. Like, I just don't think that's how it goes.
It's blasphemy. It's Cowboys blasphemy right there.
How so? You don't need the star on your helmet to be a star after football.
You don't need to. Tom Brady is, but you have to.
Tom Brady's the best quarterback of all time. He's an anomaly. Like he was going to make $1 billion.
But Joe Burrow's not going to be the voice of NFL football. Look at Drew Brees.
He could be if he wanted to.
No, Drew Brees couldn't.
Drew Brees could.
They tried to make him.
So some people also don't have that skill set.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes' voice. He has no shot of being in broadcasting.
I don't think he wants to. He owns part of the Royals. He's already half a billionaire. Like,
yeah,
he's got other things going on. If you want to be an analyst, sure, being a Cowboy is great. But I don't think that Dak needs to end his career a Cowboy to have a great career post-football.
That's a valid point. I'm not going to argue it.
I think that there's a real possibility that he goes somewhere else, especially because of this quote that he said the other day. To paraphrase, he said he has an obligation to, one, his team, his family, and to other people around the league to get the best deal possible.
Yeah.
So he said, excuse me, I'm a guy that grew up with 2 older brothers. You understand what a brotherhood means, not only for just this team, but for the fraternity of the NFL and the players. The money is out there and the money can happen. It can be done. There's ways to make everything work for both sides. That's in the sense it's always about pushing the envelope for the next man.
Also, I wouldn't be surprised if things escalate both with he and CD now, that the lawsuit, the DirecTV,
the NFL Sunday Ticket lawsuit,
has been thrown out, because I think Jerry was really concerned about that impact on the cap and this financially future. And so now that that's been thrown out, I think Jerry might expedite negotiations.
I wouldn't be surprised if CD's signed this week.
No, not at all.
Dak's just a whole nother beast, because you have to – I don't think anybody has the correct sense, except for Jerry and Steven, of what dollar they're willing to go to. Nobody understands that point.
And I'm with Jerry and I'm with Steven, and I don't get this Dak $60 million number. Dak's the 10th best quarterback in the NFL. Why does he have to be the highest paid?
According to other NFL players, he's the 16th best player in the NFL, and he's the 5th best quarterback.
Okay, then pay him the 5th best quarterback number.
Well, that doesn't add up, because
why?
Because Trevor Lawrence isn't the 5th best quarterback, and he's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL right now.
So why would you overpay a guy who's not that great?
Because that's the market value right now.
The market value should be he's the 5th best quarterback.
What it should be is different than what it is.
Okay.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback. He's not being paid the best.
But he was when he got that deal.
Correct. And now you have Dak, who is next in line. That's how it's going right now.
But Dak's not the best player in the NFL right now.
But if you want to sign him, you're going to have to sign him to at least $56 million a year, which is the going rate. $56 million a year would make him the highest paid quarterback.
I would give him $1 more than Trevor Lawrence got.
They're not going to take it.
Well, I mean, that's the name of the game. That's building the team. You decide where you're going to put your money.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is all Deshaun Watson's fault.
It is.
It's all the Browns' fault, to be honest.
Yeah, what were they thinking?
And that gets us to the last question. And speaking of the Browns, that gets us to our last question. You got to let me know when you sneeze so I can mute your mic real quick.
I turned.